WFI Memphis, doing this quick cold cut through the spirit. It won't be too long because I'm in between um, work on this plantation right now. Just want to touch on this quick topic for those who, you know, are trying to be something in this world, um, who want the validation of men. This is for those who, seeking to be man pleasers, and you know, you want the likes and the follows, and yeah, you want to be known for something. All right, and this is an important topic, as there's a lot of people out here fighting for notoriety. They're doing debates. Um, they're always strifing, always known for just kicking up dust. I'm gonna say this, man, and I'm gonna put this out here. Like I said, it'll be real short, but you need to understand that you're fighting for righteousness. You're not fighting to be a man pleaser. You're not fighting for a woman's approval, for your job's approval. You're not fighting for that brother's approval, right? You're fighting for your Habah Shem Yahushai. All right, this is just a short warning, a short cold cut through the spirit, man, for those who are trying to be something in this world. What are you known for? You should have care unto who you are, and you shouldn't be known for always kicking up strife. You shouldn't be known for always kicking up dust, um, causing contention. You shouldn't be known for always debating. Um, these aren't the fruits of the spirit that you saw through the scriptures. Now, do you contend for this truth? Yeah, you contend for it. But what are you known for, man? You got to ask yourself that. How do people remember you? Are you a person that people want to be around through the spirit? Do you help your brethren? Are you your brother's keeper, or do you keep your brother in strife? All right, let's go to the book of Sirach. Let's go to the book of Sirach. All right. Like I said, this won't be too long through the spirit. I got to get back to work, get back on this plantation. But we'll jump to the scriptures. It's Sirach chapter 41. We're going to start at verse 8. Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High God. For if you increase, it shall be to your destruction. And a lot of us, we're looking for the increase through likes, through follows, through being men pleasers, through money. The scriptures call it vainglory. And you can get a lot of wisdom reading, Proverbs of Solomon, what I'm saying, the wisdom of Solomon, different things of that nature, songs of Solomon. Hey, you can get a lot of wisdom applying yourself to your Habah Shem Yahushai versus, pushing your mindset towards wickedness, man, and trying to strife. Like, what are you known for in this world? Are you known for being a whore? Are you known for being a straight niggard? Now, are you known for being a gangster who hates your brother, who hates your sister? What are you known for, man? Right? These are the things that you have to worry about versus, who won the debate, man, and who, like, what are y'all doing in these last days, man? This nothing that I'm seeing makes any sense except for Israel. Y'all, we are the cursed because we just can't focus our minds on what matters most. And you're gonna be known for wickedness, thus says the Lord, if you can't get yourself gathered and get your thoughts gathered to focus on salvation and focus on keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and repenting. What good is it to have all this plethora of knowledge? Let's jump down to verse 13 of verse 12, Baba Kashaf. This is Sirach chapter 41 and verse 12. It says, have regard to thy name, for that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold, man. You got to have regard to your name through the spirit and have regard to the things that you're putting out here in the earth. The strife that you're kicking up amongst family members, because they aren't following the commandments like you, and so you're condemning everybody. You know what I'm saying? You're casting them out. You're separating the wheat from the tares, right? You're the judge and the executioner. Like, a lot of Jake and Eve got to wake up, man. Hey, yeah, cast cast, righteousness and righteous judgment, of course, but you got to understand that you're fighting for the crown. You're fighting for your crown too, man. You're fighting for your crown as well. So don't get too far down your knowledge of rabbit hole knowledge and think, you're too big to be corrected, or think that you're too big, to be given a rebuke. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Most High said correction is one of the greatest forms of love, man. Right? And you should have regard to who you are in this world as far as your name goes, and what people think of you as far as it goes through the spirit and righteousness. You should understand if you're a backbiter. You should understand if you're a fornicator, all right, if you're into whoredom. Like, people are gonna remember you for the guy who always comes around saying, "Hey, let's spark up, man. Let's light up. Where the relos at?" Hey, they're gonna remember you for that, man. For always saying, "Hey, let's go to the strip clubs, man." You should have respect to this righteousness and this truth if you're a quote unquote, follower of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Let's go to the book of Proverbs through the Spirit. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. All right. Like I said, this won't be too long. Let's go to the book of Proverbs and let's get chapter 22. Bear with me. Let's get chapter 22 and let's start at verse 1. And it reads, "A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and love and favor rather than silver and gold." A good name is something that Israel doesn't care about anymore. A lot of our people have no shame in being a wicked, just out of your mind, bugged out reprobate in these last days. A lot of us don't care about moving in righteousness anymore. It's about the bag, man. A lot of us don't care about moving in the spirit anymore. It's about the bag, man. Shalom, Akim. Shalom. Shalom. A lot of us don't care, about the spirit anymore, man. You care about what's between that sister's legs, man. You care about, the debate on if the stars in the sky the right way, or if the moon is over here, or if the sun is over there. Hey, y'all care about things that the Most High has already established. And, just just like in Ezra's, man, hey, which one of y'all can tell us how much fire weighs, man? Like, who could tell us where the wind comes from, man? Like, which gate did that wind come from, man? Right? Which one of y'all have that type of wisdom, but you're over here jostling for knowledge that everyone has access to, and we're still missing the mark. So, to all these people out here who are trying to move, in a spirit that is contrite, to the Most High, that want to be mighty amongst men, right? The Most High told you, to focus on these commandments, man, right? To focus, on having the things that are meet through the Spirit, calmly through the Spirit, which goes into repentance, man. All right. Not all this damn strife. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, man. Chapter 7 to verse 1. Through the Spirit, man. Right. It's going to be a quick one. It's going to be a quick one. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7. And we're going to start at verse 1. It reads, "A good name is better than precious ointment in the day of death than the day of one's birth." Well, what's that going into? It means that, who you are reconciled as in this world, the sin that follows you, man, the name that follows you, you could have changed that. You could have changed how people look at you, man. Right? You could have changed how people, viewed you versus being a reprobate and an arguer or a backbiter or a scorner. You could have changed that name while you had chance, man. Right? A lot of people don't get notoriety until they die, man. Right? A lot, and even now in 2025, people are pissing on graves, man. They're shooting up funerals because who this person was in the world. Hey, man, they didn't forget that in death. They didn't forget what you cause, in strife, and how you move. So a lot of people are carrying vendettas even past the day of death, man. So you want to be remembered for good works. You want to be remembered for righteousness, right? You want to be remembered for moving in the spirit versus moving, in folly, man. You should be ashamed, of wickedness that you're putting out in this earth, man. You should be ashamed of these debates that most people like to do with their own brethren, for likes and views. Let me get this in Sirach real quick, man. Right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 41. Let's go back to chapter 41. All right, there's a little bit more meat on that bone. Let's go back to the book of Sirach, chapter 41, and let's start at verse 15. It says, "A man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom." Right? And a lot of you all have no, you know, wherewithal to hide your foolishness. You just let it all hang, man. There's a lot of foolishness that goes on in Israel where we could be pushing out wisdom. We could be pushing out a lot of unity, right? But these things don't happen. Let's jump down to verse 17. What does it say? It says, "Be ashamed of whoredom before father and mother, and of a lie before a prince and a mighty man." So a lot of us, we'll do just the opposite, man. A lot of you all go into sin with your mother and father, man. A lot of you all have no shame towards anything, not towards the Most High, towards your name, towards the Spirit. No one has shame, and no one's hiding their foolishness, man. So we have to get back to moving right in a spirit that is choice, that is meek, that's humble, right? What we call the fruits of the Spirit, man. All right, what we call the fruits of the Spirit, man. You have to, you know, let other people go do that, man. If you got to get away from those people who you trying to please to focus on serving the Most High, hey, do that, man, through the Spirit. You can't keep letting and making an excuse, right, to fall to fall at every corner and to fall by every doctrine, man, right? This is Sirach chapter 42. All right, this is Sirach chapter 42. Some good stuff in here, man, right? There's some good stuff in here. We're going to start at verse 1. "Of these things be not thou ashamed, and accept no person to sin thereby." You don't want to, have people, as an excuse to why you fell out the truth and to why you can't stop, debating or strifing, why you can't stop smoking, right? A lot of people use other people as excuses and they miss the mark, man, right? But you don't want to be ashamed, right? Especially of the law of the Most High and of his covenant and of the judgment to justify the ungodly. And a lot of you all like justifying ungodly works in Israel, man. Ungodly strifing, ungodly debates, you know what I'm saying? Just going off. You like to justify it by your own conceit and your own, ego and pride. You justify ungodly things, man. Right? And we got to move away from their spirit, right? To really figure out how to get salvation, man. A lot of people are taking these scriptures and just doing what the heck they want to do with it, man. And you like to justify it for likes and views. You like to justify it for a gift. All right? But you gotta make sure that you're not, just out here offending just to get a damn like. You're gonna offend your brother, you're gonna offend the ministry, you're gonna offend everything about the truth just to get a like, man. Right? Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians. Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians. I'm gonna start at chapter 6. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6. And I'm gonna start at verse 3. "Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed." That the ministry be not blamed. You don't want to give an offense just trying to get likes, and you're strifing every year. Every year you have some grand debate to strife with Akim, and then the works, you know, our works aren't really showing. We're just out here trying to be, you know, these new Solomons on the earth. Everybody is vying for wisdom to try and be like the new, hey, the 2025 Solomon. Hey, brothers swear they got it. They got all the sauce. Brothers got all the wisdom. Brothers got all the understanding. And it's crazy, man. Let's stop offending Yahweh Hashem Yahushua through your egos. Hey, man, and let's get to this ministry. Let's get to actually understanding why you're put on here, why you put out here in this earth. You're not put out here in this earth, man, to go to the strip clubs. God damn it, you know what I'm saying? To drink your life away, to smoke your life away, man. You got fringes on. Hey, we shouldn't be seeing you, at the hookah lounge, man. You got fringes on. Hey, you shouldn't be, in places that are unseemly. Hanging out and just having a grand time, man. As I stated, man, hey, what are you known for in this walk, man? What are you known for? Even if you're not in the truth, what are you known for, man? Right? What are you known for? Do people know you as the weed man? Do people know you? Hey, this brother here got all the weapons. He got all the switches. Hey, man, he ain't going. He'll ride. Do they know you for being a killer of your brother? Right? We used to give reverence to holy people, man. We used to give reverence to righteousness, man. And now we only give reverence to folly and foolishness, man. Let me get that in Sirach again, man. Let me go back to Sirach through the Spirit. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 44, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 44. And let's see. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let's start at verse 1. It says, "Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us. The Lord have wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies. Leaders of the people," right? Let's continue this. "Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instructions." You don't receive that just by being a niggard, man. In 2025, you don't receive the understanding and the knowledge to lead the people in righteous counsels just by going on damn TikTok and YouTube, man. This is a nation that's not desired, and you all have to sincerely desire Yahweh Hashem Yahushua again, man. Right? This is why we're out here. But hey, like I said, through the Spirit, it's gonna be a short one. Just wanted to, put out a warning for those, man. Hey, watch your name, man. Watch your reputation, right? Watch who you're propagating yourself to be, and watch who you're following. All right, watch who you're emulating. If it seems to be for vainglory, hey, you need to second guess that thing, man. Right? Nobody should be grabbing a camera, or grabbing, any type of public forum to just be, just looking for vainglory, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no better way to say that. Don't be out here, gathering, followers, making a cult out of yourself. And no one's learning how to repent. No one's, leaving off from sin. Everyone they're just looking for the next precept, and they're just looking for the next cut. Hey, don't let that be you through the Spirit, all right? But, hey, by all praise go to the Most High, right? If you've been given the office of being a teacher, or if you're a prophet on the earth, if you're an apostle, a servant, hey, deal with the Most High's flock righteously, right? Lead the people in the spirit, man, and hey, keep the commandments. With that, I'm gonna say, how about Shemi Shabrak Thought? Hey, shalom to y'all, man.